Tom, let's jump into the top 10. Some Super Bowl
Can you even call it the top 10? Like top 10 implies like, oh, they're good teams, and like I don't feel good about really 6 through 10 right now. Like
I still feel good
about
the
five teams
Falcons.
impressed me in a big way.
I think we're a little bit. I know that Steve Sarkisian sucks. I get it. Whatever. I think we are too tough on the Falcons for the last 2 games. Why? It is really difficult to go into Philadelphia and win. That is a tough place to go in and win.
You still say Philadelphia weird, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of panicking though about the Falcons. Like I'm kind of panicking. The offense looked pretty poor, especially when we got inside the 20 because Steve Sarkisian doesn't seem to know what he's doing. Devonta Freeman is banged up.
Yep.
Deion Jones is on IR.
That's true.
Keanu Neal is on IR. Those are 2 of your most important defensive players. And this is kind of in the back of my mind too here. Every year, 4 NFL teams that made the playoffs last year missed it the following season.
Oh, you calling the Falcons out?
Yeah, I'm calling them out. Week 2 against Carolina. They lose that game. A, Panthers easily get in the top 10, if not the top 5 of these power rankings. B, I am slamming the panic button on Atlanta.
The one thing I will say, though,
concerns me
about Atlanta, they have enough depth on the defense. By the way, Deion Jones is expected to come back at some point this season. Keanu Neal is not. However, if you're going to ask any team in the NFL to replace 2 guys like that, the Falcons are probably as equipped as any team. I mean, they can replace Deion Jones with Duke Riley. They have a great core of safeties back there to replace Keanu Neal. Obviously, they don't have players of that caliber to step up, but
I don't know.
If you're going to replace, they have 2 fantastic replacements.
I'm pretty concerned about Deion Jones' loss. Like, I think that's a big one. Again, it's not going to be for the year, but I am very concerned about it. And I'm very worried about Atlanta. You and I have said that we think that they're one of the best rosters in the NFL, but they continuously underachieve with Steve Sarkisian.
I don't want to point this out. We
change.
have nothing against Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a fantastic head coach and has helped bring this team into its fullest.
I hold him hiring Steve Sarkisian against him.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Let's go to number 9.
I don't like Stark.
Let's go to the Kansas City Chiefs. So we talked about it, Tom. The Kansas City Chiefs are a roller coaster. One day they're going to be going up, up, up. Then they're going to hit the top, and they're going to come crashing back down. They're going to do a loop-de-loop. They're going to go back up. They're going to come down, do a spiral, and you'll end up and you'll vomit it everywhere.
I feel dizzy.
That's the Chiefs. They're going to be a roller coaster.
I could not agree more. There are going to be up and downs for this Chiefs team, and if there isn't, oh boy, that's going to be awesome.
You could not have like diced up a more roller coaster team. This is week 1. This is when you're going up the roller coaster right off the top. Maybe against the Steelers, we'll see the big crash down to earth. Now they go up against a perennial playoff.
That's the way I'm tilting this week.
It's gonna be great.
But like,
should crash down, score 6 points.
In a bubble, I'm like, oh god, I actually don't think the Chiefs are a top 10 team when we get to the end of the year.
Yeah.
But how can you not put them in the top 10?
Like,
are you going to put the Falcons above them? The Niners? The Panthers? And even if you put the Panthers above them, they're still top 10.
Yep.
So I'm going to put them at 9 for now. I wouldn't be surprised if they have more fluctuation than any team in overall in the NFL in our power rankings.
I will say this.
That's the nature of Mahomes at quarterback.
Despite I know he has a fantastic deep ball. The one thing that impressed me the most about Mahomes, man, his short area and medium area accuracy last week was fantastic. He was throwing missiles. Except to Travis Kelce for whatever reason.
I really think that not having Joey Bosa was the best thing that could happen to the Chiefs and for their confidence on offense and Pat Mahomes too. And they didn't even use Travis Kelce last week.
Yeah. Big game going against a Steelers team that enjoys playing up or down to its competition. We'll see how they fare against Big Ben in the big ketchup bottle, as Cam Rogers likes to call. Let's go 32-29. The Bills, the Cardinals, the Colts, and the Browns. Then we got the Lions, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Raiders. 24-21. The Seahawks, Bengals, Buccaneers, and the Redskins. Bengals with a big game tonight against the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday.
Can't wait. Call me Bart Scott.
Scott. Bears, Giants, Cowboys, and Titans, and probably the disappointing page or the disappointing ending page of the NFL power rankings. The Broncos, the Texans, the Chargers, and the Ravens. Huge win for the Ravens, 47-3 against the lowly Buffalo Bills. And then finally, the Panthers, the 49ers, the Falcons, and the Chiefs. Tom, are you ready for the top 8?
Not really, because I don't like some of these teams in the top 8. Like, they really shouldn't be, but who else are we going to put above them?
Let's go to the biggest upset of week 1. It was the New Orleans Saints losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home, 48-40. Tom, this reeked of a defense that got exceedingly cocky after everyone told them they were amazing last season. And Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, and Ryan Fitzmagic smacked their asses all over the field all game long.
It's pretty rare to see a letdown game in week 1 of the NFL season, because that's kind of what I feel this was.
They got hill.
I think they bounce back this week, but New Orleans does slide down several spots. I still like the Saints' chances to make a run to the Super Bowl with Drew Brees. The offense looks fantastic. Don't overlook that. The defense was a disaster. Hopefully they bounce back against the Browns, but if the Saints start 0-2, obviously they'll slide down. But I am a little bit concerned about New Orleans right now, Harris, because I said fade the Saints.
Yep.
But I didn't think they were going to lose to the Bucs.
You didn't say fade the Saints. You whispered fade the Saints.
I said
multiple times.
I will. On Bet DSI, again, I put money down on the Bucs to cover. It was a
very creepy.
10.5 point spread, and I said this screams Bucs covering. I didn't think the Bucs would almost, cover that spread themselves. That was a surprise to me. So hopefully the Saints figure stuff out. This team should be really good. I trust Sean Payton. He's proved it time and time again. So the Saints are getting a little bit of the benefit of the doubt in week 1.
One more thing quickly about the Saints, I got to say, good for you, Drew Brees. They put him in a position where Drew Brees had to bring them back in that game and possibly win it for him. He was fantastic. Michael Thomas also, holy cow, 16 catches for over 160 yards and a touchdown. He was lit as well. Let's go to number 7 on our list, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, do you know what? I think I came up with the term because I heard Ryan Russillo say this the other day. No team in the NFL plays more up or down to their competition than Mike Tomlin's Pittsburgh Steelers. 1 week they'll be a play away from being the Patriots or going toe-to-toe against the Jaguars in the AFC division round game, and then the next day they're on the road tying the Browns. Like that's just so typical of this Pittsburgh Steelers team, which is why you can never trust. You can never trust the Pittsburgh Steelers in the modern day era.
The Pittsburgh Steelers at being at number 7. I had such a tough time this week with the power rankings, why we had such a tough time. Here are the teams that were ahead of them. The Packers and the Jags, which makes sense. Of course, they're still ahead of them. The Falcons and Saints were both ahead. Those two teams lost. Directly behind the Pittsburgh Steelers were the Tennessee Titans, the LA Chargers, the 49ers, the Houston Texans, and the Dallas Cowboys. All the teams around Pittsburgh lost, and because they tied, they actually went up. Which also, I think, summarizes the AFC in general. It's kind of a mess.
It's a massive mess.
Like
the AFC is a huge mess, by the way. And I think this weekend really did kind of show it off to everyone in the world how disgustingly bad the AFC truly is. I am concerned about the Steelers, Tom, because I think we saw last year that the decline of Ben Roethlisberger was very much among us already. And I think we saw against the Cleveland Browns, there's something off with him. There's something clearly off. I don't know if it's a lack of preparation. I don't know if it's simply age. Maybe the injuries are catching up to him. He looks awful.
New theory, he's just a slow starter. We saw it last year. Remember that Jags game early in the year?
I do remember this.
I think this was a Big Ben slow starting early game.
And also,
he wasn't good enough.
James Conner did have a fantastic game, though I do wonder when the Le'Veon Bell hammer is eventually going to hit them and they're going to start missing him.
Got to come back at some point. I think it did impact them a little bit. He was very good. Connor's the same as
it hurt their tempo late in the game. It did not allow them to control the ball and eke out, get those eke out wins that they usually get in the AFC.
I think Connor got a little bit tired. He had a pretty massive, it was like 64 or something snaps last week.
Yeah, he had a lot.
Way too much for him. Granted, it's overtime, but still.
Let's go to number 6. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who defense played great. Blake Bortles played like crap. Leonard Fournette got injured, and boom, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars' entire season in one game, Tom.
Yeah.
We did it.
And they move up because other teams lost. And I am rather disappointed by that showing against the Giants. For the same reason that I liked what I saw from the Giants is why I was like, Jacksonville, I expected more from you. What are you doing? And because in the end, your defense is going to hold teams to under 20 points almost every single game. Can you get to 20? They almost didn't. Against the Giants defense that didn't have their best pass rusher.
Well, you say that they have to get to 20. They're playing the Patriots this week, who, the offense did not look great against the Texans. I mean, it was struggling. All of the plays, the best wide receiver on the team was Philip Dorsett, which is never really what you want. But
if
there's one thing that I saw by the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, the addition of Andrew Norwell obviously helped, but that offensive line still isn't, fantastic. The wide receiver core, Keelan Cole's a nice player. It's nice to see him actually succeed.
They don't have a true number one guy. I don't remember. Was it you or Cam who says that the Jaguars are the team of number 2 wide receivers?
I think both Cam and I have said that at different points.
Because you're both right then.
Yeah, like they're just that's why people keep telling me, like, oh, the Jaguars are going to the Super Bowl. No, they're not. Blake Bortles is still the quarterback. And at some point, there has to be a level of talent at quarterback that you cannot have go to the Super Bowl. And it's Blake Bortles. He's not going to the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. Big game coming against the Patriots this weekend.
Sorry, Bortles truthers, because I know you guys exist somehow.
I can't believe that they do exist. Let's go to number 5. Tom, I've seen a lot of great comebacks in my time. That was something else. On one leg, Aaron Rodgers scores 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to take down the Chicago Bears in Lambeau Field, 24-23. I know that Randall Cobb had the fantastic play, which made me in my house literally scream out, "Holy crap!" when he scored that touchdown. But man, Aaron Rodgers, he's so good.
He's stupid good.
So good.
He's stupid good.
He might have. I want to kind of maybe make a little hyperbole here. I think he is the most arm talent of any quarterback in NFL history. I just don't know if anyone can make the throws that he can.
Dan Marino. Dan Marino is my counter.
I'll give him Marino. Okay,
Marino.
That's fine.
But Rodgers
probably
is
1A, 1B.
is in that discussion.
Yeah.
Like the throws he makes are incredible. The ease with which he makes them too is absolutely astounding.
Astonishing.
You know, I mentioned earlier how I didn't really like the middling part of these power rankings because there's still a bunch of uncertainty and teams that we had ranked higher lost and bottom tier teams like Dolphins, Jets surprised and won. I feel pretty darn good about this top 5.
I like it.
The top 5, I will fight tooth and nail with you guys on in the comments.
I was a little iffy about you having the Packers in the top 5 because they really didn't play well for the entire first part of the game.
But then Aaron came back.
Exactly.
It was with Aaron versus without Aaron, pretty much.
You know, if you go through, teams 6 through 32 in the NFL, none of them have a player that's even close to Aaron Rodgers. Like the only one, no, there actually isn't because it's Tom Brady, Aaron Donald, and Aaron Rodgers are the top 3 players. So no one even comes close. And no one even comes close to the deal that BetDSI is giving you guys for this NFL season. Head to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. If you don't want to put down $100, that's fine. Put down $50 and you get $60 anyway for a grand total of $111. It's easy.
110.
That bet always works. 110. Yes,
you had it so close.
You
did the math so well.
111
and then you
really
threw
good.
in a stray one for no reason. Absolutely no reason. Chatsports.com/bet. That promo code is LIVE120. 120% deposit bonus. You won't get that deal anywhere else.
So what happens when you don't take a math class since the first semester of your senior year of high school. Let's go to number 4 on our power rankings. It's the Los Angeles Rams. Looked like crap in the first half. Looked like world beaters in the second half. Do you know what it looked like to me? It looked like to me like the team just hadn't meshed yet. They walked into the black hole. New coach. Season's ready to go. That crowd was rocking in the first half. And then Derek Carr starts throwing interceptions. The Rams defense starts taking over. Todd Gurley sets the tempo, and boom! All of a sudden, the Rams win 33-13.
I actually noticed a very common theme from Week 1 in the NFL, and I'll shout out producer Brett Scott for harping on me and being right in general about the preseason. Think about some of the key players and key teams that didn't play their starters a lot.
Yep.
The LA Rams didn't.
Nope.
Big Ben didn't play much.
No.
The Dallas Cowboys didn't play much.
Nope.
The common theme, all those teams started slowly. Now, the Rams figured it out in the second half, but the teams and key players that didn't play a lot in the preseason, it showed in Week 1. So I was wrong on that originally. I think I undersold the need to play early on.
Let's stick with the Rams. A lot of new pieces coming in. Ndamukong Suh added to that defensive line. Here comes Aqib Talib as well. Sam Shields coming in on that secondary too. You know, it's funny. They brought in all these new pieces, but the pieces that ended up winning them that game were the ones who came back. Whitworth was fantastic. Gurley was fantastic. Goff looks like I've never seen a guy go from year 1 to year 2, now to year 3 to where he is. It is incredible. He's a new person.
Put any quarterback with Jeff Fisher for 1 year and Sean McVay for the other,
I'll give that.
And that's what you're going to get.
But they looked great. I mean, Brandon Cooks had a good game, 8 catches for about 70 yards, a lot of pass interference yards as well.
Thank God I got
Cooper Kupp was the one that scored the touchdown. Robert Woods had a great game as well. Like, for me, it's just we talk so much about the new pieces coming in. But even without those new pieces, this is still one of the best teams in football. And I think without those guys, they would still be top.
By the way, Harris, I'll make note of this right now as we talk about the Rams because I told Cam this, and I've been thinking about it more and more.
I'm excited.
My initial pick was Vikings versus Patriots in the Super Bowl. But maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I need to go Rams, Patriots.
Oh, let's go.
Patriots win. Brady and Belichick walk away.
Yes.
They complete the circle of the dynasty.
Oh, I love it. I love the sound
That's
of that.
my new theory.
That's fantastic.
Flip-flopped, like, I flip-flopped before the end of the first game.
And there will not be any torch passing because that concept in sports is stupid. Let's go to number 3. It's the Minnesota Vikings. They won. They won like any Minnesota Vikings team won last year. The quarterback played good enough. You know, Kirk Cousins looked good, had a couple nice throws around the field. The defense played fantastic. They were able to control the tempo of the game with the run game. Close to the end, but the defense closed it out. That's how the Vikings won every game last year.
No change. They beat a good football team, maybe not by the same margin as, say, the Rams and the Raiders, but they did beat a better Bay Area team in the process. So why would we drop them? I still think Minnesota's 3. Now, there are some out there who have sold hard on Minnesota. I am not one of those guys.
Why would you sell on this team? They're so good.
I don't know. Like, it's tough for me to not look at this Viking teams and say, beyond the offensive line, which is a concern to me, go, oh, yeah, this team is bad. Insert with this.
The only issue with this Vikings team that you could have had coming into this year is the fact there really might not be a production difference this year between Case Keenum last year and Kirk Cousins this year. That is the only worry you could have, is that they overpaid at quarterback, which
they had the cap space.
They had to.
I still think that they got better. And they're still really good across the board, won 13 games last year.
And also, by the way, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen ended up staying healthy all season long. That might be the best 1-2 wide receiver combo in the NFL. Stephon Diggs was stupid good.
Absolutely agree. And they had better just make sure they throw the ball to the tight end.
Yes,
get Kyle Rudolph
for his fantasy's sake. Let's go to number 2. Another year, another Texans week for the Patriots, and another win. The offense looked like absolute crap in the first half. But I got to say, Tom, we complained a lot about the Patriots defense last year, and I know Texans offensive line,
offensive line.
Regardless of the offensive line, the Patriots defense played a lot better. The secondary looked a lot better. The pass rush was a lot better. Juwan Bentley looks like night and day from Landon Roberts last year. This Patriots defense is better than it was last year. However, the offense is worse. That receiver core is bad.
I still think a little off in week 1, and that receiving core is a big issue, Harris.
Yep.
So they should go sign Des Bryant, right?
No, they shouldn't sign Des Bryant. Do you know what? It was so funny. Everyone telling me, they need red zone options. Yeah, go see what happened on the first red zone appearance that they had in that game and tell me they need a red zone option. Rob Gronkowski is all you need in the red zone. I will not stop. Rob Gronkowski, when fully healthy, is the best red zone target in the NFL. And I will not have any more of this, they need red zone targets.
No one is arguing that.
Philip Dorsett's catching touchdowns in the red zone. Who needs Des Bryant?
No one is arguing
Come at me. I'm done with
that
this.
Gronk isn't the best red zone threat
Des Bryant
in the
needs to
NFL.
stop telling people he's coming to the Patriots.
You can have more than one, though.
You can have more than one, but it doesn't need to be a
arguing
31-year-old wide receiver who hasn't been good in 4 years.
I'm so glad I triggered Harris.
So done with this Des Bryant and the Patriots crap. Let's go to the number 1 team in the NFL. No change. Philadelphia Eagles get the W, take down the Falcons 18-12. Nick Foles looked bad, but I still think I don't know if they're not talked about because they're coming off of a Super Bowl win, but maybe the most underrated unit in football is the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Like, I just
really good.
People talk about Carson Wentz all the time,
really
but
good.
This defense is fantastic.
It's almost like defense wins championships. Am I right?
Yeah.
Go figure.
They're great.
But look, as long as the Eagles win, we will not drop them from number 1. That is the congratulations. You are the number 1 team in the NFL. You won the Super Bowl. We're not going to disrespect you like that. With that said, I did think Philadelphia was going to lose in week 1.
I did too.
So I did disrespect them in that one.
I will say this.
Sorry, Philly.
I know that Nick Foles looked bad. I understand.
I am concerned about that.
I am too. But Jay Jai, excuse me, I don't know why I said his name like that. He established a really good tempo, especially in the second half.
Yep.
2 touchdowns for him on the night. I believe the only one of, I think, 2 running backs that had 2 touchdowns on the week. Not to mention just the offensive line is so good. They were fantastic all night long. Nick Foles just couldn't complete passes, but the one thing that really dominated all night long, that Falcons offensive line is quite good. They have a lot of really highly touted players on that offensive line. They got picked apart by the Eagles defensive line. Fletcher Cox, Chris Long, Brandon Graham, they dominated. Michael Bennett, they crushed their offensive line all night long. It was great to watch.
Derek Barnett was when he wasn't lining up.
They didn't even have their best linebacker in that game. Nigel Bradham didn't play in game 1 because he's still suspended.
I still think that's Jordan Hicks, by the way, who is wildly underrated.
You know what? They're both quite good. But Nigel Bradham comes back this week or next week? This week. He was only a 1-game suspension for Nigel Bradham. Let's take you through a recap of our NFL power rankings. The Eagles coming in at number 1, Patriots at 2, Vikings at 3. Let's go 5 to 8. Packers at 5, Jags at 6, Steelers at 7, and the Saints at 8. Chiefs at 9, Falcons at 10, the 49ers at 11, and the Panthers coming in at number 12 off that ugly win against the Dallas Cowboys.
But it's a win.
A win is a win. The Ravens at 13, the Chargers at 14, the Texans at number 15, and the Broncos coming in as the league average NFL football team, which I like. I think the Broncos are the league average NFL football team.
Wasn't intentional, but yeah.
I like it. Titans at 17, the Cowboys at 18, the Giants at 19, and the Bears at number 20. The most boring team in football at number 21, the Buccaneers at 22. Bengals at 23, big Thursday night game coming up tonight against the Baltimore Ravens at home. Seahawks at number 24. Raiders 25, the Jets and the Dolphins repping the AFC East, number 26 and 27. Then the Lions at number 28. Can I just say whooped one more time because they got whooped
Say
so
whooped.
badly by it? You got whooped, Lions. That was awful. And the Browns, the Colts, the Cardinals, and the Bills.